Hey, welcome back, and today I am going to be doing a type of review on this Amazon plasma cutter. I've had it for about 8 months, and I've used it several times, cutting mild steel. This unit was around $300 on Amazon. Not the cheapest one, but it was still on the cheaper side of the way plasma cutters are. When I got this plasma cutter, I set it up without the instructions because it's pretty simple. Just get your water separator and your valve, and then hook it up to air. And I have it hooked up right now to the 220 plug with its little connection. So we'll see how that goes. I've never run it with the 220 before, just the 110. And it does, it will just trip a 15 amp breaker pretty regularly if you're using it like that. So I'll show you how it runs with this, and then I'll probably show you how it runs on the 15 amp side of 110. Because usually it just trips the breaker halfway through, cutting 1/4 inch, 10 gauge, doesn't really matter. So now we're on this circuit, which is, I think it's a 20 or a 30, not sure, but it runs this Lincoln arc welder with no problem. So we'll try it on that circuit. So we'll switch it on here. It automatically detects that we're in 220 volts. There's nothing they can do there. And now here's our pressure. You have to regulate pressure manually right here. So since we're on 220, we can turn it up a little bit more. So we'll put it right there. And you can run this thing as low as 15 amps, but it doesn't really like to cut any more than that. But with your amperage and pressure, you want to juggle them, so you don't want high pressure and low amperage and high pressure. They need to be about balanced. So we'll say 25 amps should be plenty for cutting what we're going to cut. One complaint is the ground is pretty cheap. Small wire, So here I've got a piece of 10 gauge and then a piece of 1/4 inch mild steel. That's pretty much what I'm cutting with this most often. I haven't tried aluminum with it, but it can do that too. Now, in the whole time, I have not gone through any consumables. So, yeah, you can drag this unit. You can put the contactor tip right on the workpiece and drag it. So that's, some of them you can't, some of them will arc out, but the ones I've used have all been this style that you can drag. Yeah. So, works like a plasma cutter. I'll get my lid on and show how it works. I've got the post air for a decent amount of time. Obviously wearing PPE. Don't worry about that. No, anyway. So we'll cut this piece of 10 gauge and then move to the 1/4 inch and show you how it works. Now, a tip to make straight lines, you want to use a straight edge. Anything really helps. So I'll just use this because I have it, and why not? It doesn't really need to be square for what I'm doing today, which is just a demonstration of how it works. But just a tip that helps. So not bad there. I went a little bit too fast on travel speed, but it's pretty much pretty much there. So you can see that pretty clean cut, nice lines. You can see where it had stopped. But yeah, that's pretty good. 25 amps. I can definitely tell a difference on the 110 rather than 120. 120 is definitely smoother, gives a nicer cut. So yeah, we'll do one more of this and then move to a 1/4 inch. So now let's see what we can do with a curve to make a profile on the steel. Not too bad. Definitely a lot quicker than using a grinder, so if you're making small, in like little pieces like this, that would be difficult to make a cut like that with an angle grinder. Having to come in, you'd basically have to waste this. So now if you had a duplicate part, you can cut it out and then have a nice clean line. And now this is also okay here. Just you could take a buff wheel and buff that out. But yeah, not bad. So now let's see what it'll do on 1/4 inch material. At the same parameters, 25 amps. So what we can do. Alright, not bad. We can definitely increase some amperage, I believe. Now we're at 30 amps. Let's try it again. Not bad. Now you do go a little bit slower with 1/4 inch, but not bad. Remember to turn this back on to weld. Always do that. You find out that it's on grind. Alright, so to conclude, I'd say this welder, not welder, it's a plasma cutter. So I'd say this plasma cutter is worth the 300 bucks. That's about what this one was. I can't find the original ad on Amazon, but I'm pretty sure they're all the same. So for just someone at your house for a hobby, making little brackets and car parts or whatever, alternator brackets I made, some other things, simple stuff. Definitely a nice tool. Not for everybody, but if you're tired of grinding with a zip wheel all day, why not? It's a nice tool, and I've had no problems with it so far, besides, things could be a little tighter here, but that's just myself putting it together. But other than that, quality, it's definitely probably from China. But, for 200 bucks, wouldn't even want to know how much a Lincoln one is or nothing like that, or whoever knows. I don't even think Lincoln makes plasma cutters, but anyway, yeah. And then the slag, just take a chipping hammer or something and it comes right off easily. Buff it out with a flap wheel on a grinder, then you've got a nice part. So that's my review on this machine. I'm pretty sure everything from Amazon, they're going to be the same. Probably made in the same factory. I mean, I have no idea about warranty or any parts, but so far, using it, maybe every other weekend, not even, for almost a year. I don't know. I've had no problems. Not even used any consumables yet. I'm sure if you're overheating it and stuff, I don't know. But definitely would recommend the 220 volts. If you don't have that, it does work on the 110, but it's just annoying that halfway through your cut, it might trip the breaker. So that's just my thoughts. If you enjoyed, if this helped you, leave a comment. And until the next one, thanks for watching.